What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of the Dag Life podcast here at the Dinaglia Group in San Diego. Today, I have a very special guest with me, a very good friend of mine, a newer agent to the team, but she is a high-rising baller on the team as well, the lovely Miss Kelly Edwards.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good.
Thank you for joining me today.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm super excited to have you sit down with me, and obviously you haven't been on the team too long, but long enough to where you fit in the mold so well, and you're blossoming like crazy, and I'm super excited to hear a little bit more about Kelly's journey prior to real estate and how you feel things are going so far. So jumping into your journey getting into real estate, tell us a little bit about Kelly and what made you choose real estate.
So I have always worked with the public, both in the hospitality industry and as a yoga instructor. And I really just love working with the variety of personalities. Mm-hmm. So real estate really jumped out to me as a way to continue working with the public and navigating their personalities through what could be an emotional process. Just made me very excited.
Okay, and it's funny that you say managing those personalities, right? Because I come from hospitality myself, managing 100 to 200 employees at a time while managing 5,000 people at a party at a time. So managing personalities, it's kind of like a skill that we have to learn and grow on. So when you would remind me again, how long have you been in real estate?
Not very long.
How long?
So I began my real estate career in November of last year.
And you're already one of the top producers on the team. Of a team of full,
I don't know about that.
A team of ballers, and you're quickly rising to the top as one as possibly rookie of the year heading into the end of this year. So again, it's been amazing, especially from the seat that I sit in, like on a daily, weekly basis, kind of seeing you grow and go from there. What would you say has been the either hardest transition into real estate for you, or something that's been the most eye-opening getting into real estate for you?
The hardest transition for me is basically going from being a stay-at-home mom to having a full-time career, because I want this to be a full-time career, and it is now. So managing, just basically managing family life has been the hardest part of this whole journey, because I want to equally be there for my children, my husband, my children's schooling, their extracurricular activities as well, and be successful in what I'm doing.
Yeah, I hear you, and again, I appreciate you being vulnerable, because that's something that we hear about often, especially on the team, right? Most of the top producers on our team are women. Most of the ballers on our team are women, and most of the women involved that are also mothers, wives, realtors, the whole nine, right? So I find it very interesting and super empowering and super incredible how women like yourself continue to find that harmony between the two. So in terms of that being a challenge, being a mother and a wife at home outside of the real estate, outside of wearing that real estate hat, how have you been able to balance it? Because it seems like you do a pretty good job.
Well, I have my breakdowns when I have to have them.
You got to have those breakdowns. It sometimes just cleanses the body.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have a very supportive partner at home. He's wonderful, and I make sure just to keep everything really high priority. My clients are high priority. My kids are high priority. And when it's time to put the phone down and be there for my kids, I do that. And when it's time to send the kids to school and be at work, then I'm there fully and as present as possible.
That's amazing. And again, power to you, right? Kudos to you. It's not the easiest job in the world. It's actually the hardest. So commend you for that. And obviously all the mothers on our team, wives, so on and so forth. And then when in terms of being present, being where your feet are, being in the moment, obviously having to manage so many things and control what that process looks like. In terms of where you're at right now in your real estate career, what are some things that you're super excited about moving forward as you've been able to start to balance those things a little bit more?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm just excited. I feel like I'm just getting going, honestly. And I feel like I've had a really good mix of clients thus far. Right. I've worked with military families. I've worked with investors. I've worked with home sellers, home buyers, and all the way from Oceanside down toward the border. So I guess what I'm most excited for is just to continue to expand that and to really work on strengthening those relationships, because for me, really working on strengthening the relationships you have while meeting new clients is important, but quality is what's really important to me, rather than quantity, rather than going out and trying to get a ton of leads. For me, what's important is to keep the lines of communication so open and strong with my clients I have. And
I love that, and I think it's something that we touch on a lot, right? There's those individuals where they're very good at building, growing, and cultivating relationships, and for people like us that come from hospitality, it's a superpower, and it's something that I wholeheartedly believe in. That one of my superpowers is being able to nurture those relationships, which you do a great job at as well. And there's those people that do want to focus on just getting client after client after client after client, and that's not us. And I know that's definitely like a pillar of your focus. And it's again, I'll keep reverting back to the fact that it's been amazing to watch you from day one to growing and learning and expanding and excelling at a very high and fast and efficient level. So that's been super exciting on my end. In terms of obviously joining DAG, right? Where we love on a lot of things. There's a lot to love about DAG. Everyone's joined for their own reason. I'll continue to be biased because DAG is all I know since I've been in real estate, and I've never had a reason to leave. So I always like to ask is what was it that drew you to DAG, and what was it that ultimately made you realize like, okay, DAG is home and it's where I need to be.
sure. So I started coming to the role play meetings right off the bat. And role play after role play, I was just seeing the incredible value that I was bringing with me. Every time I went to a meeting, I walked out feeling like I could go negotiate with anyone. And it was great. So I continued to go to the role play meetings, and then I attended one meeting. It was a full house meeting, and there were moms with babies on their laps, and like just to see that not only is this environment so supportive on a business side, right, and it's everyone is supportive. I mean, from the novice agents up to the very experienced agents, everybody is working together because this industry is ever evolving, and you have to, and you're always constantly learning from one another. So knowing that I would definitely have that support coming into it was like, yes. And then seeing it on a personal level where, yeah, you can bring your baby into the office, and it's nobody cares, this is a family environment as well. And that was really important for me too.
And I love that you touch on that because I think it's important because we talk about it all the time, and people can scream from the rooftops family and culture all they want. But until you see that kind of environment firsthand, regardless of what you've been told, it doesn't really ring true until you're in it. And I love hearing things like what you just said because when you're able to see it firsthand, see it up front, and actually feel it, that's when it makes the most impact. And I think the biggest takeaway, at least for me, is that the biggest impact the team has had on me is someone from the East Coast doesn't have family, not too many like close friends out here. It's DAG. DAG is my family here. DAG are my close friends. So seeing that impact that it has on people's lives on our team firsthand is super empowering. And again, that's why I continue to never have a reason to leave DAG. Because of people like yourself, because of how things are with the team, because of the family feel and camaraderie, and essentially like kind of the direction that we're headed and continue to add people like yourselves to the team that help us grow there. So in terms of, some things you're excited about, obviously, in even in your personal life, what would you say has been the biggest impact that real estate has had on your career thus far that's helping you move forward?
Hmm, that's an interesting question. The biggest impact that real estate has had on my career. I'm gonna go with confidence, honestly. I this was a very ambitious thing I feel on my part, just to dive into something completely new, and I was scared, and seeing that right off the bat I can do it, and that I'm consistently doing it, and it's coming from all angles, and it's just I just feel very confident moving forward, honestly.
I love that, and I perked up when you said how you hit the ground running, pretty much because you came out the gate swinging. Especially joining with a team, I think you had a first client in escrow within like a month, like an open house client, right? And again, right, I think it's a testament to one your ambition to actually apply and execute because we tell people all the time we can coach, we can train, we can support, we can provide resources, we can provide leads. We cannot play the game and play the field for everyone. And it's going to come down to the people that are going to continue to do the work and execute at a high level that are going to be the ones that are successful. And seeing that, the repetitions, the consistency, the discipline that you have to take in the field and continue to excel at a high level is going to help you get just even more better than you already are. So again, that's also amazing to see. And I think when it comes to a life-changing decision like you made, jumping into something that you were a stranger to, it was the same thing for me. It's the people like us, the people that are willing to take the risks and chances in life that are going to get further than anyone else. And, it's not to say that people that don't take risks or chances aren't going to get far, but I think when you have the ability to step outside your comfort zone and you continue to take those leaps of faith, it's just a much more fulfilling life. And I think that's where I'm at because I've been more fulfilled in the last couple of years than I have in the previous. So love to hear that. In terms of obviously, um, where you're at in your real estate career, if you can kind of look further into the future, where do you see your real estate taking you in the next like 3 to 5 years?
Oh, well, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. I just want to keep going the course that's working out.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
And expanding. Yeah.
Um, Given real estate being newer, given you coming from different industries prior, right? One thing that I've asked a lot of people because it's interesting to hear feedback they would give themselves. If you could look back at 18-year-old Kelly and you were talking to her right now, you said, listen, hon, you can give her any bit of advice right now. What would it be?
18-year-old Kelly was she was a wild one. I would say, she was going into college, so I would say take a business class. I would say invest in some penny stocks, and yeah, I think that's yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, hey, the advice is the advice, right? I think in terms of when I think about what I would tell my 18-year-old self, it wouldn't be anything to change the course of his life.
Yeah.
Just because I know the man I am today, the person I am today, and where I'm at today wouldn't come without the decisions that I've made since that point, right? And a lot of times people look at their past as like regrets or mistakes. And one thing I always revert back to is if you can go back and erase every mistake you ever made, how much of yourself would be left? And I think thinking about the advice part, it wouldn't be anything to change the course of my life. Just keep going. Yeah. That's really what it would be for me, and I think that's important to understand that you don't have to make life changing decisions if you could talk to the past. It's just keep going down the course, and you'll become who you are today. Looking back at who you were at 18 years old, the journey you've taken, the family you've built, the husband, the life, the wife, the mom, the realtor, kind of where you're at right now. One thing that's super big here at DAG is we talk about legacy a lot, right? Dean and Afro have their own fields on legacy. I have my own perspective of legacy. A lot of the team members have their own thoughts and feelings of what they want their legacy to be. When you look back or you look forward down the road, when all is said and done, when you get down to the end of the line, and you want to look back and be proud of what your legacy was, what you left behind, what Kelly's remembered for.
That's where I get a little emotional. For me, it's very important to maintain a close, loving relationship with my kids because they're the future, right? And so when I look at myself and the qualities I like about myself, I like that I'm compassionate, that I'm kind, that I'm loving, that I'm hardworking. And I guess my dream of what a legacy would look like would be to instill that into my children so that they can carry that with them into the next generation. And it's a trickling effect, right? It all starts with every individual at their core. So just making sure they're good people, so they can keep sharing that love that's all I care about, really.
That's amazing. It's super, again, vulnerable. So I appreciate you for that. Super touching. I think oftentimes people get caught up in the rat race and keeping up with the Joneses of trying to live a different perspective or to live a different life. When at the end of the day, does come down to being a good person at the core and with your core values. So it sounds like you're doing a great job. I know just knowing you as a person, you're doing a phenomenal job. And I think Kelly's personality has definitely rubbed off on the team. And we couldn't be more delighted to have you on the squad and obviously see where your career is going to go from here. Kelly, once again, thank you so much for joining me. It was super exciting to have you on and learn a little bit more about Kelly's journey and kind of looking into the future for your family. So I appreciate you.
Thank you, Lewis.
Thank you guys for watching another episode of DAG Life Podcast. We'll see you next time.